Welcome to Storied Audio. The blackout began on a Wednesday night, one of those humid summer evenings when the air feels thick. The city usually hummed with neon and noise, but when the power grid failed, everything fell into a strange, velvety silence. No streetlights, no glowing signs, just darkness swallowing the skyline. I lived on the 7th floor of an old brick building, the kind with creaky floors and windows that stuck in the winter. Across the narrow street stood another apartment building, nearly identical to mine. Normally, I never paid attention to the windows across the way. They were just rectangles of light, strangers living their lives behind glass. But that night, when the world went dark, one window lit up. Not with electricity, just a soft, warm glow from a candle. And in front of that candle stood her. A silhouette. A woman with her hair pulled into a loose bun, her hands resting on the windowsill as she looked out into the darkened street. She didn't see me at first. I was sitting on my couch, illuminated only by the faint blue of my phone screen. But something about her, her stillness, her quiet presence, pulled me to the window. I lifted my candle and set it on my own windowsill. Her head turned. She noticed, and she smiled. Night one. I opened my window. She did the same. The air between our buildings felt suddenly alive, like the blackout had peeled away a layer of the world and left something raw and honest behind. "Looks like we're the only ones awake," I said softly, my voice carrying across the narrow street. She laughed, a warm musical sound that made my chest tighten. "Or the only ones without flashlights," she replied. We talked for hours. About nothing and everything. About how the city felt different without its lights. About the stars we could suddenly see. About the strange comfort of knowing someone else was awake in the dark. Her name was Alara. She lived alone. She liked old movies and thunderstorms. She spoke with her hands even though I could barely see them in the candlelight. When the blackout ended, her window went dark. But I didn't sleep. I stayed awake, replaying her laugh in my mind. Night 2. The next night, the power failed again. And again her candle appeared. This time she waved first. We talked about our childhoods, our dreams, the things we were afraid to admit in daylight. She told me she used to be a painter but hadn't touched a brush in years. I told her I wrote music but hadn't finished a song since my father died. "Maybe the dark brings out the truth," she said. "Or maybe it hides the things we're scared to show," I replied. She smiled at that, soft, sad knowing. When the lights returned, she whispered, "Good night," and disappeared into the shadows. Night 3. By the third blackout, I was waiting at the window before the power even went out. She appeared instantly as if she'd been waiting too. "Do you think it's strange?" she asked. "How easy this is." "What do you mean?" "Talking to you. Like we've known each other longer than 3 nights." I swallowed hard. Maybe we have. Maybe we just didn't see each other until the lights went out. Her eyes shimmered in the candlelight. "I wish the blackout would last forever," she whispered. I didn't know what to say. I only knew I felt the same. Night 4. The 4th night, the blackout didn't come. I waited by the window anyway. Nothing. No candle. No silhouette. No Alara. I barely slept. Night 5. The blackout returned just after midnight. My heart leapt as her candle flickered to life. But tonight she wasn't smiling. Her eyes were red, her shoulders trembling. "Alara? What's wrong?" She shook her head. "I shouldn't be here." "What do you mean?" It isn't supposed to happen." I leaned forward, gripping the windowsill. "I don't understand." She wiped her cheeks. "You will. Tomorrow. Alara." But the lights snapped back on and she vanished. Night 6. I didn't wait for the blackout. I crossed the street. I needed to see her. To understand. To tell her that whatever she was afraid of, she didn't have to face it alone. The building's lobby was dim and dusty. The elevator didn't work, so I climbed the stairs 2 at a time. 7th floor. Apartment 7B. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again, harder. Still nothing. Finally, I pressed my ear to the door. Silence. I tried the handle. It opened. The apartment was empty. Not she stepped out for groceries, empty. Empty. No furniture. No dishes. No candle. No sign anyone had lived there in years. A chill crawled up my spine. I stumbled back into the hallway, heart pounding, mind racing. Had I imagined her? Had loneliness finally cracked me open? But no. I remembered her voice. Her laugh. The way she said my name. I remembered her. Didn't I? Night 7. I didn't sleep. I sat by my window, staring at the dark, empty apartment across the street. Minutes passed. Hours. Then, a flicker. A candle. My breath caught. Elara stepped into the window, her face soft and sad. I threw open my window. Elara, I went to your apartment. It's empty. What's happening? She looked at me with eyes full of sorrow. I told you, she whispered. This wasn't supposed to happen. Are you real? She smiled, heartbreaking and beautiful. I was. She nodded. I lived there. Years ago. I used to paint by the window every night. People said they could see my candle from the street. My blood ran cold. Elara, what happened to you? Her voice trembled. There was an accident. A long time ago. I never made it out. I felt the world tilt beneath me. But then the blackout came, she continued. And for the first time in years, someone saw me. My throat tightened. Why me? Because you were lonely enough to look into the dark. I reached out instinctively, though she was too far to touch. Elara, don't go. She shook her head gently. The lights are coming back soon. Stay. Please. Her eyes glistened. I wish I could. The street below flickered. The hum of electricity returned. Elara. Thank you, she whispered. For seeing me. And then the lights came on. Her window was empty. Her candle gone. Her silhouette erased from the world. After. I still sit by the window some nights, staring at the apartment across the street. It remains empty, abandoned, forgotten. But sometimes, just sometimes, when the city lights flicker, I can almost see a faint glow in that window. A candle. A silhouette. A girl with her hair in a loose bun. And I smile. Because even if she's gone, I'll always remember the stranger in the window who taught me how to see in the dark. Subscribe for more audio stories.